What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at it again with another New York Giants update video. First and foremost, shout out to all you guys for being good supporters of the channel. All this would not be possible without you, and I hope to meet some of you at not only at Giants Fan Fest, but potentially at the Week 18 Giants game where I'll be, and so will other content creators. It's gonna be a fun time. We're just gonna, have a nice little meet and chill out and whatnot, man. With that being said, let's get right into the video. So last vid and on Wednesday, the Giants rookies and rehabbing players were tuning into training camp, and then yesterday it was the quarterbacks, or I may have had that mixed up. It might have just been the rookies on Wednesdays and then quarterbacks and rehabbing players on Thursdays. Whatever the case may be, it's currently Friday, and those three groups are at the Giants facility and they are ready to get training camp started. Unfortunately, there were a couple guys on the PUP list. There were also one specific guy on the COVID-19 list, and let's just talk about that for a second. First, let's talk about Kadarius Toney, the Giants rookie wide receiver who just can't seem to kind of get on the field for the Giants, and it's really not his fault. We've already covered several times, whether it's in a stream or in a video, that the reason Kadarius missed a couple times of OTAs and like the rookie minicamp and whatnot was first because of the equipment managers. Whoever they are, they couldn't find this man the right cleats and find him the right size, so he had to come off the field a couple of times to get his cleats fixed, which isn't really that big of a situation, but it happened. You don't want to get injured, and he's just taking care of himself by getting the correct cleats. Once again, not his fault, equipment manager's fault. Another time was a family emergency, I believe, where he had to completely miss 1 or 2 days of that practice, and once again, not his fault, family emergency. He has to go and do his thing. And before that as well, I believe he didn't show up because he wasn't under contract, which once again, if you really want to be nitpicky, I guess that's the one you could pick out and say, oh, that's not really a good example. I think it's fine because the guy wasn't under contract. Why would you risk going to a training camp, pulling something, breaking something, getting injured essentially? You risk doing that if you're not even signed by the team yet, right? That's just a smart business decision on Toney's part. But it remains that Toney already has, missed a couple of practices. I don't blame him for it. I don't think anybody should either. This one here, it's only going to add fuel to the fire for a small group of Giants fans that do think Kadarius might be a problem. And it's definitely going to add fuel to the fire for Giants fans that are worried about him just getting on practice for some reason, or, just getting onto the field. Maybe some of those fans, they related to him going to be a bad player. I don't think that any of it's related, to be honest. But do I want him to stay on the field more? Yeah. None of it has been his fault so far, though. It's not like it's an injury. If any one of these was like an injury, I'd be worried. If any one of these was just a bad attitude problem from him, I'd be worried. So far, none of those is that. But what it is this time is that he tested positive for COVID-19, and he was placed on the COVID-19 list on Thursday. So obviously, prayers out to Kadarius. I think he's going to be fine. He's young. He's really healthy. He's obviously fit. He's a pro athlete. Usually, most of these cases with NFL players, they turn out just fine. Will Hernandez had it last year for us. Khalil Mack was a big name last year that had it for the Bears. They came back fine. But still, prayers out to Toney. I think he's going to recover just fine. Here's the thing, though. A source said that he's asymptomatic, and it's possible to be on the field next week, depending on how long his isolation is going to take. If a vaccinated player tests positive and is asymptomatic, he can return to duty relatively quickly after 2 negative tests at least 24 hours apart. If a player is unvaccinated and tests positive, he has to be isolated for 10 days and can only return when asymptomatic. So this is all from an article from the New York Daily News, and that right there falls right in line to kind of what the NFL was running last year with their COVID-19 protocols. And I'll say this, I guess it depends whether he's vaccinated or not. Either way, it seems like it's going to be a maximum of 10 days that he's going to miss. So that really would eliminate the entire first week of training camp, which is a major hit because training camp is only 2 to 3 weeks. That for sure is going to be a major hit. But if he's vaccinated and he tests negative, then he's going to be fine. Either way, this is not something that are we really going to blame Kadarius for? No. And that's really kind of what most of this video is about, because there are fans out there that are going to take this and say that Kadarius Toney is a bust, because they've already said it, that Kadarius Toney is a bust, and a good amount of media personnel as well. This is why I consistently say sometimes I have a hard time liking the media, that this man's a bust just because he's missed a couple practices, and half of it wasn't even his fault, or to be fair, all of it wasn't his fault. Like, this is not in his control whether or not he gets COVID. Now, obviously, you could take steps to prevent it, but ultimately, it's not really in your control, bro. You could catch it out of nowhere. I'm speaking from experience. Now, Kadarius himself seems to think that it's not really going to be that much, that he's probably going to be back in the quickest time possible. He tweeted out, minor setback, remember that, and then an emoji that basically says soon. So hopefully we see him in the first week of training camp. That's all we could hope for. And then for players that were placed on the physically unable to perform list, the PUP list, Saquon Barkley was placed on that list, in addition to our what seems to be our backup center as of right now, Jonathan Harrison, Matt Peart because of his back, Kyle Rudolph, which we know because of his foot surgery, O'Shane because of his hamstring, and Aaron Robinson because of a core muscle. So the two people that, you know, really not surprised are there are Saquon and Kyle Rudolph. Saquon is still in his rehab. He still has about a month to 2 to go to fully recover. So that's understandable. I am kind of surprised by Jonathan Harrison. I didn't realize he would have had a hamstring problem. Matt Peart, I am definitely surprised by. By all accounts, I thought this man was completely healthy, and maybe he is completely healthy. Maybe he just has a tight back. He needs to stretch it out a little bit, you know, get some trainers in there to crack it and whatnot. I think Matt Peart is going to be fine because, to be honest, I thought he was completely healthy. O'Shane, we do know he is recovering from a season-ending injury from last year. And he's still on there, so maybe his recovery is taking a little bit longer. What is good to see, though, is that our other outside linebacker with the Achilles injury, and Lorenzo isn't on here, which suggests that he is on a very nice recovery timeline, that maybe he's close to being fully recovered. And then another person that I was kind of surprised to see was Aaron Robinson. It says core muscle, so, you know, I'm 99% sure that's abs, which hopefully that just means he's having some really bad cramps or something. But Matt Peart and Aaron Robinson are guys that I think are going to be fine. Barkley and Rudolph are going to continue to be in recovery for, I want to say, at least a month more, maybe at least 2 months more. And then O'Shane and Harrison, their depth, but hopefully they recover just fine. They both have the same thing, in fact, the same hamstring, it seems, that's placing them on there. But ultimately, this is nothing to worry about. For anybody worried about Saquon, I know I'm the most optimistic guy when it comes to him. I hold the belief that he's going to be healthy by week 1. They're just not going to use him. If he's healthy by week 1, they're going to ease him in. Either way, his timeline is like for within the first 4 weeks of the season to be back fully healthy. And I think he's definitely going to make it. You know, Saquon is a freak of nature. He's not a normal human being. And this Giants training staff is really taking their time with him, and they really seem to be doing a good job, at least so far. But that's what I got for y'all today. Let me know what you all think. You know, just kind of a list of guys that can't participate in training camp as of right now. Kadarius being the big story. What seems to be as usual at this point, but not even his fault once again. And then, you know, we got a couple guys on the PUP list. Put your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch y'all on the next one.